Hello students, today I am going to explain on the topic starting up of new venture and institutional support from the subject business planning and entrepreneurship management.
Now let us understand what are the things required to set up a new venture. When we start a new venture, it relates to business unit promotion. This is done by an entrepreneur. Promotion indicates the aggregate of steps designed to bring into being a business. Now this is a very responsible activity, and that's why it requires sound judgment and also an accurate decision making at different levels. We require a proper decision making for establishing a business. Now what are the different steps in starting a new venture? The first one is discovering your business opportunity. Here, the entrepreneur considers available business opportunity and select the one which is most promising and it can be used within the limited risk. He also considers the capital requirement for the proposed business activity. It is also necessary that he has to conduct a product analysis and a market survey for finding out the probability and scope of expansion. Now the next step is understanding the size of the firm. Here, the size of the firm is influenced by a variety of factors such as financial, technical, marketing, managerial, and so on. The desired size should be optimum. That means it should be convenient considering financial, marketing, and technological factors. The next step is deciding the nature of project. While promoting a business unit, it is essential to make right selection of the project, which involves selection of the right product or service, preparing business plan, selecting the right location, conducting feasibility study, and preparing the project profile. The next thing is preparing business constitutions. Constitution is prepared depending on the type of business, that is whether it is solo proprietorship or a partnership or a company or a cooperative. Once the constitution is prepared, the necessary formalities should be completed for getting provisional registration certificate. The next process is getting registration of business. Registration is provided by the Directorate of Industries of State Government for small scale and ancillary unit with investment in plant and machinery up to 1 crore. The next is obtaining clearance. Once you get the registration done, the next step is obtaining clearance. Here you get the clearance depending on the nature of your business. The next is decision of location. It is very important that the entrepreneur has to take in respect of locating the business enterprise, and therefore there should be a proper location of business unit not only for production but also for distribution of products. The next step is machinery, equipment and layout. Machinery and equipment are required for maintaining efficiency in the process of production. The machinery used should be as per the latest technology. Similarly, the funds available is for purchasing machinery. That also has to be taken into account. The entrepreneur should consult technical experts before taking decision on selection of technology and machinery for the proposed production unit. The next and very important thing is financial planning, because finance is the blood of any business activity, and that is why it is a basic requirement of a business enterprise. This step in setting up of a business enterprise, this have a very special significance because it is very essential to start a business with the help of finance. Only it is possible. The next is physical facility. The entrepreneur is expected to pay attention to physical facilities required by new enterprise. For example, he should first make arrangements for water, electricity, disposal of waste materials. Machine required for production purpose need to be installed properly. Thereafter, right type of manpower required for efficient working in the enterprise should be selected. The next step is tax planning. Tax planning helps the entrepreneur in minimizing the tax liability of a new started venture. Tax liability, that is why, should be minimized by selecting a suitable form of organization as tax liability. Tax concessions are offered in rural and industrial backward areas also, and that is why the entrepreneur can reduce tax liability of new enterprise by proper tax planning. The next step is organizational structure. Suitable internal organization is very necessary for the conduct of business activity, and that is why deciding the organizational structure, it has to be given special attention in areas of department, in areas of line of authority, delegation of authority, division of work, coordination among department, and so on. The last step is launching the enterprise. At this stage, the major portion of promotion work before starting an enterprise comes to an end. That is why the entrepreneurs have already taken major decision on all the aspects of business to be conducted. Now they are in position to set the enterprise going. Here they have to take actual steps for starting the business activity. So with this, all the steps taken into proper procedure, we can start and set a new venture in the most effective form. There are various institutional support which has been provided to the entrepreneurs. For the development of entrepreneur, a number of specialized agencies has been set up by the government. The first one is Social Industry Service Institute, which we call as SISI. Now this conducts industrial management course. Now what is this course? This course is about covering the functional areas of management. Okay, and this course is highly practical and it includes subjects like marketing, accounting, costing, personal management, commercial laws, etc. The next one is intensive course. Now SISI offers intensive training in some specialized areas like finance, marketing, cost accounting, etc. This course are part-time and spread over a period of 4 to 6 weeks, and they are generally meant for those who have undergone a general program. Then we have intensive courses. Intensive courses are like where you are providing intensive training in specialized areas like finance, marketing, cost accounting. Then we have this mobile workshop. Now in mobile workshop, what happens is that they demonstrate the entrepreneur the correct use of tools and equipment, how it has to be used. And they also provide training in several trades like carpentry, footwear, making electroplating, etc. All these training are provided in mobile workshop. Then we have this drawing and design. Now here the entrepreneurs are given assistance in making drawing and design for the product, keeping in mind the requirement of the end user. SSI, that is why, help in preparing the layout of new plants. Then definitely in technical management consultancy, they are taking care of the technical assistance which has to be provided to the entrepreneurs. They are assisted in terms of getting the right kind of knowledge in product selection, selection of technology, purchase of machinery, other details, etc. So the entrepreneur can obtain management advice in this field of marketing, industrial relation, production, etc. So all these kind of various support is given by the SSI to the entrepreneur. Now there are some problems and barriers which every entrepreneur faces in their initiative stage of setting up an enterprise. First is inadequate availability of finance. Yes, due to lack of finance, there are so many ideas which they cannot implement, like expansion, growth, diversification. They have to curtail their expenses, and that is why that becomes a big hurdle. Next is inadequate supply of raw materials. Very true is that raw materials, when it is not supplied at the right time, or if there is a cheap quality of products which is being purchased, definitely it will affect the product efficiency, which is not good. Technology upgradation is very important. Many a times that is not possible. The entrepreneur is still using the outdated technology because he doesn't have that amount of money and capital to invest in the technology, new technology. So definitely because of that, there can be a problem to grow in the organization. There's lack of growth in the organization. Next is problem of unutilized capacity. Now, many studies have made it very clear that there is a gross underutilization of installed capacity in small scale industry. After looking and finding on to various surveys, it has been inferred that on 15 to 40% capacity is not utilized in small scale unit, and that is very, very, you know, not right, because underutilization of capacity will always lead to low efficiency. Then problem of infrastructure, power and water, yes, that is also a biggest hurdle, because that becomes one of the lack of infrastructure facility. Then unskilled laborers, when you are having laborers who are unskilled, then you have to invest a lot of money in training, and if you don't do that, definitely they will not be able to work like that of professional and skilled workers. Their efficiency will be less as compared to the skilled workers. So we should try to train the unskilled laborers and give them the right kind of guidance rather than criticizing them. Unsuitable locations, yes, when the entrepreneur is not able to tap up the right location or the right place, then there can be problem of many things, like he will not have the right kind of access to the customer, the right kind of access to the raw material, because he has selected the wrong place to do his business. Problems of marketing, yes, this happens when the entrepreneur doesn't have adequate market skills, abilities to grow. He lacked that knowledge, and because he does lack marketing skills and knowledge, he will not be able to take up a proper marketing strategy and promotional techniques for his product. Poor project planning. Everything starts with planning. So if the plan is itself not accurate, then it is very difficult to implement inaccurate plan. So plan has to be very accurate, and it has to give a defined result. Problem of ancillary units, yes, this is also one problem. One of the problem which relate to delayed payments, where the entrepreneurs has to go through financial hardships on account of delayed payment by large firms and government departments. Next is deficit managerial and technical skills. Yes, if the company doesn't have trained and experienced managers and supervisory personnel, what will happen? Definitely they will not be able to give you the right kind of output, and the efficiency will be low. And that is why these problems which are there, that has to be analyzed, and we have to find out the root cause of the problem, analyze the problem, and then find out the right kind of solution. So in the next slide, we will be discussing about how can we solve the problems. Okay. For solving the problem will require a remedial measures to solve it. So first and very important thing is that we should do an effective planning, that what are the remedial measures, what are the solutions, what are the corrective measures we can have, and then we can draw a productive program to solve that. Okay, so studying various kinds of problems and how what solution can be provided. So effective planning with a team of members, dedicated members, and having a brainstorming session and coming up to a conclusion will definitely help the problem. Next is improvement in techniques of production and proper technology. Now we see that SMEs should try to improve their techniques of product by adopting modern technology, and that is why government also have important role to play in this context. So we have to arrange, we have to understand that technology is very important, and the government should support to arrange viable and modern techniques of production, and help the enterprise to have a productive kind of production and improve the efficiency. The next is training and development. Now when it comes to training and development, there has to be a lot of funds which has to be spent on training and development activities, and it should not be treated as an expenditure. Instead, it should be treated as an investment, because whatever you are spending on your employees, they will be helping you in giving you the right kind of efficiency in output. So that proper focus has to be done on training and development for skilled as well as for unskilled workers both. Provision of infrastructure facilities. Yes, we need to have proper infrastructural facilities so that everything, every resources can be optimally utilized. There have to be a regular supply of raw materials so that the production process can take place without any disturbance, and then we can export that product and deliver the product at the right time. Educate credit facilities has to be made so that there is a lot of scope for expansion, and alternative means like venture capital yet to be developed. So a lot of development process can take place for which we require credit arrangements, and that should be arranged for the betterment of the organization. Next is effective marketing arrangements, where the entrepreneur should try to focus on brand, product, and market development. They should also try to remain in the market, and special thrust should be given on quality improvement program. Okay. Then the next is development of suitable machinery. Yes, the entrepreneur should try to develop separate suitable machinery for taking initiative with regards to problems faced by them. Also, they also has to make sure that try to bring productive machinery which will give productive efficiency. Then industrial estate. Now, this is an attempt to provide a rental basis good accommodation and basic facility to a group of small entrepreneurs who find it difficult to secure the facilities at reasonable prices. Then we should have training facilities where EDP, that is entrepreneur development programs, they are encouraging the ventures to conduct various training programs for the entrepreneurs. Now then, the next is de-reservation for items for SME. The government has pursuing the policy of de-reservation of items reserved for exclusive production by SMEs. Why? To facilitate further investment for technological upgradation and higher productivity in the micro and small enterprises. And this will help the sector in enlarging the scale of operation, which is very, very good for the growth of organization. Then the next is export promotion. This is very important that the SMEs should encourage export in their products. Okay, so for that they should display their products in international exhibitions, and expenditure which should be incurred that can be reimbursed by the government. Next is physical facilities. Yes, enhancing the excise exemption limited for SMEs is from 50 lakhs to 1 crore. And then price and purchase preference to products manufactured by small sectors in the government purchase programs. This kind of incentives provided. Then subsidies also provided to order to improve the competitive strength in the market, and the SMEs are highly subsidized. Now, because we are providing these fiscal facilities, it will help to keep down the price of the product of such units. So these kind of remedial measures should be taken so that the entrepreneur can understand the importance of production efficiency and can focus on growth of his enterprise.
So students, I hope the topic is very clear to you. Thank you all for patient listening.